So we're going to do a deep dive into the Mrs. Quilty subscription box. Now, I have never had a subscription box before, and this is the first box that I've ever received. And so Mrs. Quilty sent this to me and asked me to review it, and they asked me to review the box and their program. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Now, I am not comparing this subscription box to any other subscription boxes, because that's just not what this video is about. This is about Mrs. Quilty asking me to review theirs, and having never had a subscription box before, these are my first impressions, and I want to make very clear that these are my own opinions and this is my own perspective. You may have a different perspective, you may have different opinions on this, and that's okay, but I just wanted to put this out there because I've been looking at subscription boxes, kind of looking at other people's perspective of them, and so I wanted to give my own, and this is 100% honest and my opinion. So let's dive in and take a look at the Mrs. Quilty subscription box. Okay, well, let's just start by taking a look at the actual box. Now, I have already opened this box to prepare for this video, but I just want to show you the box. It is a nice sturdy box, and it's a pretty box. And the first thing I thought of when I saw this box was, this is a great box for storing projects. So I will be using the box for storing projects after I use or take out whatever is inside. So once we open the box, we get very pretty. If you see the top of the box, it says Quilt, Laugh and Love. It's a great box. That's all I'm going to say about the box. First thing we get is our magazine, and this magazine we'll go over later because we want to get to the good stuff, but this magazine that comes with it is very, very important, and I will go into why. The next thing that's in the box is my favorite size ruler. This is a 6.5-inch square ruler. Honestly, it is the ruler. I don't even know if you can see it properly, but this ruler is the ruler I use most often. So it's always great to have one of these rulers. They're awesome for squaring things up. It's got a 45-degree line on there for squaring up your half square triangles. I love this ruler, and I'm very happy to have another one now. The next thing that is in this box is a circle of very colorful pins, which are very cute, very nice. So those will be going in my pin cushion right away. And also, I have some fat quarters. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fat quarters. Now, I fanned them out so you can see them all. And they are all color coordinated, which I do love the color coordinating. A lot of the other reviews I've seen about Mrs. Quilty boxes, everybody seems to talk about the fabric quality. So we're also going to talk about that. I'm going to give you my take on that. But let's just take these out and show them without the box, because the box is getting some glare. So I'm going to set the box aside. Now, looking at these fat quarters, I really do like the fact that they're color coordinated. I've said that before. We've got a good combination of stripes and polka dots and florals. I'm very happy looking at these. Feeling them, they have a very silky feel. I can tell that they are for sure 100% cotton. They do feel nice. I'm going to iron them up and see how they look then, but I do like the variety of these, and it already gives me some good ideas of what I want to do with these. Now, the the magazine has, I just don't want to have a glare in here. The magazine, the first thing you'll notice is a table of contents in here. But the way these boxes work, I've read through this entire magazine already, and the way these magazines work is they are progressive. So the boxes are progressive, box 1 through box 10. So like I said, this is a monthly subscription box. And these boxes are really meant to increase your skill set as you move along. So the first box, the first 1, 2, 3 boxes are really meant for beginners. And the small projects that are included in these magazines are meant to give you skills that is meant for a beginner. I am not a beginner, but we'll talk about that later too. So it tells you exactly what you're going to learn with these first 3 boxes: basic piecing, binding, sashing, simple applique, and straight line quilting. So, and then with the second 1, 2, 3, 4-ish boxes, those are more into your intermediate. So as you progress with these boxes, you will learn valuable skill sets that will take you on your quilting adventure. So curved bias binding, curved piecing, flying geese, foundation paper piecing, complex block patterns. And then when you get to your box 7, 8, 9, 10, you're looking at intricate designs, custom quilting motifs, free motion quilting, diamond blocks, and Y seams. That is a great list for someone who wants to increase their quilting skills. So when we go in here, I love this part. This part talks about clarifying your quilting vision. It just asks you questions like, where do you want to see yourself? What do you want to learn? It also tells you the top 10 quilting tools that you will need to be successful at quilting. Talks about thread, marking, ironing. There's something special about your first box. It tells you everything that you've got, what projects are included. It also tells you that the fabrics that are included in this box is enough to do at least 3 of the projects that are in this magazine, which is great. It also tells you where to get more fabric if you need it of the same stuff, basic piecing. It just tells you all these stuff. So the 4 different projects in here, the first one is a block of the month. So as your boxes progress along, you will get new blocks, and then eventually you will have enough to make an entire quilt out of the fabrics and the patterns that your Mrs. Quilty boxes give you. So I've got a quilt as you go mug rug, a very valuable skill, learning quilt as you go. It's got placemats, a colorful pot holder, a quilt as you go mug rug, and quilted placemats. So these are great projects, especially for beginners who are learning to build their skill set. And then as we move along here, and then you just get into your patterns and everything like that. Now, another thing that was included with this box was a little oops card. And this card has corrections on it. Now, I've seen other reviews of Mrs. Quilty boxes, and they have stated that some of the instructions for the patterns in the boxes were wrong. So I really appreciate this, that they've taken the time to go over the patterns that were in here, and then it tells you these are corrections. So it says, oops, we made a few mistakes in the magazine. We're sorry for any inconvenience. Please find the correct information below. So I just went in and marked in the magazine these corrections. So I think that's really nice that they admit to their mistake and then they gave you the way to fix it. So I really appreciate that. Let's talk about the quality of these fabrics. Now, if you follow my channel, you know that I am not a fabric snob. You've seen that I have made quilts out of 99-cent bandanas from Hobby Lobby. I've also made quilts out of thrift store men's shirts, so you know that. Now, I've looked at other reviews of the Mrs. Quilty box, and And I think the way that they judge the fabric is kind of unfair. And here's why I will tell you. Here is my reason for telling you that. When I look at fabric, I look at fabric that it's good, better, or best. Okay? So good fabric is, all of the fabric is 100% cotton. So I'm going to call all quilting fabric, all these categories have 100% cotton. So when I say a fabric is good, I mean that it is 100% cotton. It's not the best quality. And like I said, I have made quilts out of 99-cent bandanas from Hobby Lobby. I would consider that good. It works for a quilt. Those quilts I have finished and washed many times because they are used for outdoors. They're used for picnics. They're used at the beach. Whatever you want to use them for, I treat them a little bit rougher. I'm not going to use my highest quality quilting fabric out in the dirt or on the beach or anything like that. Those quilts have held together just fine. My dogs lay on them, you know, whatever. It's still good fabric. Like I said, I'm not a fabric snob, so I will make a quilt out of anything that's pretty much 100% cotton. Another good would be like the feed sack and the flour sack quilts that they used to make back in the day. That was good fabric for quilts. That's what they had. That's what they used. And many of those quilts still survive today. They might be a little torn up at the seams after 100 years or whatever, or 90 years or 80 years, but that's still good quilting fabric. Better fabric would be like Walmart fabric, Joann's fabric, Hobby Lobby fabric. That's better quilting fabric. It's still 100% fabric, 100% cotton fabric. And then the best fabric I would consider to be my local quilt shop fabric. That's $13 or $14 a yard. But honestly, if I cannot spend $13 or $14 a yard for everything I make a quilt out of, I'm going to do that because I can't afford that for every quilty project I make, especially if it's smaller projects. I'm not going to use my best quilting fabric on tiny, small projects like pot holders and placemats and things like that because it's just not good for the value of them for what I'm using them for. But I will use that highest quality quilting fabric for things I'm making for the quilt shows and for like the maybe bed quilts or anything like that. But the quality of the fabric, good, better, best, I would consider the Mrs. Quilty fabric to be at the high end of better, okay? But like I said, I am not a fabric snob. And when I say fabric snob, I don't mean that in a derogatory way, okay? We're quilters, we're always snobs about something. I know people who will only hand stitch their binding on, so they're a snob. I know people who are snobs with certain kinds of thread. They will only have certain kinds of thread. So that's kind of how I feel about the fabric. So I don't think there's anything wrong with this fabric. Is that the $14, $15 a yard fabric that I'm gonna buy at my local quilt shop? No. But is it better than maybe a Joann's or a Hobby Lobby? I think it's right in there with that. Let's talk about the value of the box, okay? This is the price of the box right here. For what you get in the box, I would say that is a good value. That price also includes the shipping. And with these boxes, you can pause or cancel at any time with no hassle. So I like that aspect of it. If you look at your budget for a month and you realize, you know, I really shouldn't get a box this month, just contact them. And from what I can see, there's no hassle. They're very good about it. And then you can just resume whenever you are ready. How do you know if this is something that is for you? So here's a list of reasons why this might be something for you. And then I'll give you a list of reasons why this might not be for you. So this is for you if you are a beginner, or want to learn how to make a quilting project, okay? If you like small projects, this is great for you because each month and each magazine features 2 or 3 or 4 small little projects which are skill builders, which leads me to my next thing is if you need skill building, if you want to learn a new skill with each project, each month, each subscription box that comes out, this is great for you because you will learn the skills you need. And as I mentioned before, each box is progressive. So I love that aspect of it, is you're always going to learn something new with each new box, and there's no better way to build your skills than to actually do it and try it. Another way is that this might be for you is if you, like I said, are just kind of starting out and you need to build a stash. If you need a good supply or variety of fabrics. I love that these are color coordinated fabrics. So this is a great way to kind of slowly build your stash of fabrics so you can eventually go to your stash and find fabrics to choose from to start making the things that you want to make. If you're not sure where to start, or if you're on a budget, this might be a good way to do it because you are going to get quality fabrics at a that are coordinated, and so you don't have it kind of takes the guesswork out of choosing the right. Does this fabric go with this fabric or whatever? And so you're not sure where to start, but you know you need some fat quarters or whatever like that. So that might be a good place. And if you're just looking for new ideas, new project ideas, if you've got little gifts to make, little stocking stuffer ideas, if you like little projects, this is definitely for you. This might not be for you if you're already an expert quilter and you have already built all the skills that you want to build, you already know how to do everything. This probably isn't your cup of tea. You're beyond that. You already know the things you want to make. If you're the kind of person that will only buy the highest quality quilting fabric, you're not going to like this. This isn't for you because you will be constantly poo-pooing this fabric. But if you're open and if you have an open mind about different types and styles of fabric, then you're okay. And if you just are the kind of person that prefers to make larger projects, you're just not a small project type of person, this also probably isn't for you because there are a lot of small projects in these boxes. Here's what I personally liked about these boxes. I like that the fabric was coordinated. I already mentioned that. I think there's a lot of great ideas for projects in here that I hadn't thought of before. So I did like that idea. If you're kind of stuck creatively and you want to make something, but you don't know what you want to make and you just don't know, there's a lot of great ideas in here. And the thing about these projects is you can make them again. You always have this magazine, so you can choose different fabrics, maybe from your stash or whatever, and you can make these projects 10, 20, 30 times, and you have a go-to project to make. So that's what I liked about it. I like the price of it too. I think the price is good. It's a good value for the price, and I like that shipping is included, so there's no extra surprise charges in there. And I like that it helps you build your skills. It's got a progressive skill building element to it, which I love. So it's a great way to build skills. Like if you don't know how to do Y seams, or if you don't know how to do foundation paper piecing, those skills will be in those boxes, so you will learn. And by the time these boxes are done, you will have all these skills that you can apply to other projects and things like that. So in closing, I had so much fun playing with these blocks, and I think you'll really enjoy it. If this is something that you want to give a try to, I've put a special link in the description box, and if you use the code RevelationQuilts20, you will receive a 20% discount on your first box. Everything is in the description below, so you can just check that out there. So let me know what you think. Let me know how it goes with your box, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the things that you're going to make. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy sewing.